Hello, hi, welcome back to this next episode and our final one of 2022.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hello, we are Roxy and Katie, and we are here to give you the roundup of all the things that have been going on this year with us.
Yeah, and just in general.
And just in general, we've just been doing some research, it's been fun.
Oh, what else has been going on this year that's all full of happiness and positivity that we can end our year on? Because we don't want to talk about miserable things, do we?
No, we do not. None of the miserable here, please. How are you anyway, Miss Katie Liz?
Well, you've said not too miserable, but I am sat here absolutely freezing. I am wrapped in a blanket recording this podcast. But yeah, good. I'm ready for a break, as I'm sure many people listening also are. So yeah, I'm gearing up to start thinking about a break, although I am hosting Christmas this year and there's quite a few. And then that isn't that just sod law that apparently this year Christmas dinner is going to cost a third more than last year.
Oh my goodness. And I am in Turkey because, might be an issue.
Yeah, we are. I think we're going to get on with sorting that out. Well, I think Christmas might have happened by the time this goes out. So apologies if Christmas has already happened by the time this goes out.
This is true, yes. We are doing pre-recs, aren't we?
Doing pre-recs, so we can have a little bit of time off. But yeah, I am hosting, and I did hear on the news today that it's going to cost a third more, and we have got a lot of people coming. But other than that, I am looking forward to a break. I have booked somewhere lovely to go after Christmas for some R&R, which I'm very much looking forward to. I'm very needed, actually. We've had a tough couple of months at home, so it will be nice and very, very much needed. What about you?
I'm okay. I am freezing as well. I've cranked the heating up in my office, in my little shed office, so starting to feel the warmth. But no, I'm all right. Like you, I think, and everybody, like we said, ready for a break, ready to wind. I think my mind might have already started winding down. So obviously you lot are hearing this after Christmas, so by now we'll be revived and fresh. And Katie would have been on a little R&R trip, which I'm very jealous about.
It's only one night. It's one night. Yeah, one night. But I was like, right, if I'm hosting Christmas this year, I am definitely booking something in for me.
Yeah. And my birthday's coming up too, isn't it, in January? So I haven't thought about it. I get so wrapped up with daughter's birthday in November, Christmas December, my birthday by January just gets forgotten about.
How old are you this year? 34.
34.
34.
I know.
That's a good year. It's a good year. We'll do something. We will do something.
We really, 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 really should. I remember saying, right, 30 is going to be my year. And I don't remember it being my year.
I loved being 30. 30 was my year.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
But I definitely feel, I don't know about you, as you've hit your 30s and started to come through, I feel like a little bit of a more a changed person. I don't take as much crap off anyone. Do you know what I mean? I feel right, that's it.
Well, I think I've always been this person.
It's taken for me to get to 30 to be that person. I bloomed.
Yeah, I don't know. Another year older, wiser, all of that malarkey. I don't know. I think I'm more chilled, aren't I?
Definitely more.
You've known me for what have you known me for now? 7 years?
7 years, yeah.
And I think I'm more chilled, more content, more go with the flow than I've ever kind of been. So yeah, I'm enjoying my 30s. I'm kind of mid 30s now though, so I'm enjoying them and growing. Not older.
Not older, but definitely wiser. I'm aging with beauty. That's what I'm doing. That's what I keep telling myself anyway.
Affirmate. But yeah, we wanted to kind of do a roundup pod, didn't we, of what's been going on for us for this year, all of like our highlights of the year that we've kind of ticked off and achieved, and we'd love to know your highlights too. So what we'll do is we'll pop a thread in to our group and we'll schedule it to go out when this podcast goes out, so that you can go on and share your highlight of the year with us as well. So head on over into our Facebook group at the end of this podcast. Our Facebook group is the Wedding Business Hub, and you can share with us your highlight, your wedding win, and we love to hear them, don't we? Anyway, love to kind of cheer you on.
Oh, we do. Even if you've got a couple, no matter how big or how small, we want to know. We love cheering people on. That is so important. Not just to, you know, deal with all the rubbishy stuff, but also celebrate the good. And that is what this podcast is all about.
Yeah. So firstly, thank you to you, because you're the reason that we do this podcast, isn't it, Roxy? Like, you're the reason that we sit here. I know that we love a chat, but we love to share our knowledge with you, with all of you. And those of you that tune in regularly and have subscribed, you're who keep us going. You're the reason that we do this. So yeah, just a big, huge thank you for subscribing to our podcast and listening to what we've got to say. I was actually reading through some of the reviews this morning, and they are lovely. I posted them to our Instagram, and they're really lovely. So if you're somebody that gets something from our podcast, maybe you've got a hint or a tip, or you've listened and felt motivated or felt inspired to start a blog or understood social media a little bit better, whatever it is, please go on and leave us a review. It'd be a nice way for us to finish the year, and also it helps new audiences and new people find us in next year too.
Yeah, I mean, when I think back to when we first started this podcast, like before that, we did our Facebook Lives in our community, didn't we? And it was like a lot of people, like a lot of the feedback we got was, oh, you know, I'm not watching, but I'm listening. And I think that was when, like, let's do a podcast. And me personally, I don't know about you, but I bricked it a little bit on those first couple of episodes because I like the fear of the unknown, not knowing what I'm doing. And now literally I love recording a podcast. I love editing.
You loved it. I remember the first ever one we recorded. So this is probably our third year going into year 4 for us podcasting now. Which is crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. But only probably this last 8-10 months we've got intentional about making sure that we're recording episodes much more regularly for you. But we were podcasting kind of as a way, like you mentioned, those Facebook Lives, wasn't it? Like people were saying, we were kind of bringing all these tips and hints on a Facebook Live videos, and a lot of our audience were saying that they were listening and not watching, weren't they? That they listened to us while they were getting on with work in the background or whatever it was, on dog walks. They hooked it up to their radios in the car, and then we were like, right, okay, let's do a podcast and let's see. And yeah, that's only kind of gone from strength to strength, hasn't it? Especially this year, since we were kind of like, let's strip it back. So what we kind of did, and those of you that have been on our podcast journey for a little while will know that we kind of started out using it in exactly that way, really, as a place for us to talk about business, a place for us to talk about industry news, any hints and tips we could give you, any advice on social media. And then we started to kind of invite guests on, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then this year we decided, right, okay, what do we want our podcast to be? Like, I think we'd kind of almost lost our way a little bit with what it was. And we were like, right, what do we want this to be? And I think we kind of came to the conclusion, didn't we, that actually we're best when we just sit and we break down a topic, whether that is Instagram, whether it's email marketing, whether it's kind of replying to online inquiries, blogging, whatever it is, and we pick it apart and do what we love, which is to share our knowledge on that issue. And then since then, I think, you know, well, our listenership has only gone up and up and up and up, hasn't it? And I think
they're a lot easier to record. They're a lot easier. Like, I don't know. Like, I think to begin with, maybe it was like we were overthinking it, weren't we? Because we wanted to do such a good job. But when, like you say, we started to strip it back and just sit there. This is us. This is what we know. This is how we can help you with this subject. I love it.
Yeah, I think so. And then we have the odd guest on, don't we? Which is always good as well. And it's really worked. So yeah, we've really enjoyed the pod this year. So thank you.
Really possible.
Thank you. And thank you for those of you that kind of interact with us and let us know what you want to hear. So if you are somebody that hasn't interacted with us yet, come and say hi. Like we love to hear from you. And you can let us know what you want us to talk about. So early 2023, we will sit down and we'll start to plan some kind of pod topics, won't we? And we'll start to plan what we want to talk about and when. So if there's something that you're thinking about, oh gosh, I could just do with a little bit of help with how to design, I don't know, a wedding fair stand, or what does a good proposal look like, or how to close more clients, whatever it is, ping us a message. And if we can't help, we are networking pros, aren't we, Roxy? Like we know people. So we can always pull somebody in.
We do now, don't we? We've been around the block a little bit. We know a lot of people.
We've got a good black book of contacts, haven't we? So
yes.
We can always pull somebody in to take on that topic and to help you guys and girls and lovely people in business. That's what we're here to do.
I'm going to get cheesy now real quick, because obviously I couldn't do this podcast without you, Katie. So, I want to thank you.
I couldn't do it without you. It wouldn't really be a WedPro Podcast with Katie and Roxy. Without Roxy.
No, but to be fair, like that is true. But there has been the odd occasion where I've had to do one on my own, or you've had to do one. But we couldn't do it without each other. There isn't that bouncing off each other, like, oh, I love you, thank you. Emotional.
Feeling is mutual. It's very mutual. No, we have a good time, don't we? And hopefully that comes across to people that listen. I actually did read a review this morning that was like, Katie and Roxy have such a good relationship, and it really comes across. And I'm like, oh. So if you've not checked that out, I'll ping that review across to you.
In fact, I might have a little look while she's talking.
So yeah, let's park that there and let's break down our 2022. So if we kind of think back and go back to kind of the start of this year, or even like towards the end of 2021, like things were looking a lot more uncertain, weren't they, really, as to kind of where we are now and what life and normality looks like for us now.
I think normally you go into a new year, don't you, and think, right, like this is going to be great, but then, like you say, it was that air of uncertainty of what it was going to be.
And I think I'm right in saying that we were still sort of, there was some element of like COVID being around.
Yeah, we were still in some sort of restrictions from what I can remember.
Or at least guidance. And now kind of this much on. Isn't it weird actually with how like normal it seems to have got again, and how that's now our normal again?
Yeah, for me, I've really, really struggled with that. I don't know about anyone else listening, but when every restriction was then gone and we were able to go in shops and like without having to be like mask wearing and hand sanitizing and queuing and all of that, when it went back to normal, I thought, oh my life, like I've conditioned my brain for the last two plus years to be this certain way, and now like,
you remember queuing outside shops to get in them?
Yes, yeah. I mean, on my high street, there's still tape on the floor. And it always reminds me of like some sort of like apocalyptic film where like you go around the streets and there's like cars and like all stuff everywhere, but there's still that tape. It just takes you back to that time of, can you remember when literally you were 2 meters apart, you were queuing, there was the traffic light systems like in the shops like Aldi, Tesco. How crazy is that? Like, wow, look how far we've come.
Yeah, I do remember actually. I think the nativity play last year, although they put it on at the school, we were still socially distant, still restricted numbers allowed in, still kind of masks on the playgrounds, masks for the adults in school, that sort of thing, masks in school as well, like the kids and the masks in school as well. So yeah, crazy. And then obviously like the wedding industry was still in some like restrictions and people coming out and planning their new normal for their weddings as well. So it has been a really, really funny time,
hasn't it? Like an actual time, like this last couple of years is going to go down in history. Literally, it's going to be in those history books when our children's children are learning things in school. Are they going to be doing a GCSE subject on COVID?
Maybe.
Like, are they going to do like an exam, like an English exam, like on some sort of something that happened, or like a history exam, should I say?
But here we are now. Weddings did come back.
No.
People can get married in front of their loved ones now. You know, they can have as many suppliers as they want there. They can have as many guests as they want there. You know, we've had and are in one of the biggest wedding booms we've ever seen. And we're getting through it. Like, we are getting through it. The conversations we have with wedding suppliers are, yes, they're tired. Yes, they're exhausted. Yes, it's been a rough couple of years. And it's taken some getting used to go from kind of nothing back into like work mode. And I definitely noticed that as well when I was like, oh, okay, I actually need to give myself a break here, because I think, you know, I'm a little bit more tired than I usually would be, or I can feel a little bit.
I actually remember us having that exact conversation. I can't remember when it was, but I remember thinking like, and us talking about, you know, we need to give ourselves a break because we're trying to work like we used to, but it was a different situation kind of thing.
Yeah. And we've had kind of two odd years of working from home, to then be able to go back out and
freedom.
Yeah, the conversations we're having with the clients that we work with and the wedding professionals that are chatting inside of our group are, you know, that things are busier than ever for them. And of course we're pleased. Like,
I wonder, you know, because there's been like a wedding boom this year, do you think there's going to be like a baby boom? Or did that happen during COVID? Did everyone just get pregnant?
I don't know.
I was going to. I nearly did.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I was like,
news to me.
if I'm going to do it, should we do it now? And then I had a reality check and thought, why would I do that to myself? But for a little brief, probably 10 minutes, I considered it.
Okay. So for
not too long, don't worry. Like, you would have been the first to know, let me tell you.
Wow. I nearly had a baby. I was considering it for 10 minutes. Okay.
Next to the husband, shall we do it? And then we sat down and we actually like worked out our lives. Like, okay, there's 5 of us already. That means a bit like it was gonna have to be a people carrier, a bigger house. Like, we're gonna have to just no. So that was the end of that. But if you have got more than 3 children, I absolutely applaud you, because you are literal superheroes. The end.
Yeah, and so it has, although there have been challenges, there's been challenges getting our heads back into the game, for us and for the clients that we speak to and people that we speak to, and adjusting to being back at work, and some of us being even busier than we ever imagined. And on top of that, keeping on top of all the other jobs that we know we need to be doing, such as marketing our business, because all of a sudden we've got all these weddings that we don't know what to do with, because we've got all of the like postponed weddings to do and all of the weddings that we're already booked in to do, and also keep on top of all of the kind of admin tasks that we need to do to keep our businesses functioning and running into next year as well. So that's kind of been mostly how we've been guiding people this year, haven't we? And also coming up with solutions to be able to give people more time back into their business. We've done like 12 months of Content Club now. I think we're going into kind of month 13. And this came from kind of a realization that people, or 2 realizations really. Like, the first one, massive one, is that people inside this industry do not get into this industry to sit in front of a laptop and create content every single day for their business. And secondly, we wanted to be able to give you time back in your business, like not only because we knew that this year was going to be crazy busy for you all, but also because, God, you've got to have a bit of work-life balance.
Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, speaking from experience, I think both of us we know this, don't we? It's so important. It's the most important thing. If you're going to have a successful business, you need to get that work-life balance right.
Yeah, for sure. So what's been your highlight of the year, Roxy? What's been your highlight for 2022?
Personally, on a business note, I think actually for all round, my highlight has actually been WedCon actually happening.
Yeah.
That's like, I know you're like, what? But that's a big thing for us in our business, you know, like we plan to do it every year. We started in 2019 and we'd only we'd only been in business, 6 months?
Yeah.
And we achieved so much in that year, and then was like, right, okay, WedCon 2019's done, let's keep this momentum going. And then obviously postponement, we felt like those couples did, that kept like having to postpone, and we had to let people down and say, oh, it's been postponed. To finally have it happen, not only do I feel like, oh my god, we smashed it, but it is a big like mental load off my brain.
Yeah, for sure. And it was that exactly how you said, like quite mentally exhausting to plan something that over a 2 and a bit year period, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And have those, and yes, not every day we were sat planning WedCon, not every week we were sat planning WedCon, but there were things to do, weren't there? And there was that brain space that it just sits in your brain because it hasn't happened yet, and that needs doing, and this needs ordering, and we need to talk to this person and book that person to speak, and whatever it is. We did feel quite drained on the run up to that, didn't we? Just because of how much it takes to plan an event on that scale. But plus, like you said, we'd gone from a period of a networking events company, that's what we did, planning kind of, I think in that first 12 months, I counted it up this morning, we were on track to have 500 events, I think, and then we kind of started to see COVID lockdowns and restrictions come in. And that's what we did, to then nothing for like 2.5 years. So crazy times.
What about you? What's been your highlight?
I think one of the standout moments was when our first regional event came back after COVID, where we had people in person, in a room, at a wedding venue. They did a venue tour, didn't they?
They did.
Drinks.
I'm laughing because I bet that brand ambassador was sick of hearing from me, because I was like, hey, how's it going? It's your event in a week. Do you need anything? Every day, like, hello, are you okay? Make sure you take lots of pictures. So Mitch was like, so
the
pictures came through. Filled my life.
I think I even had a little cry, because
Mm-hmm.
it was we'd gone from this being like 99% of our business, putting on networking events in regions around the world, actually, I was going to say the UK, but around the world, to then have prime ministers and governments and all sorts of people tell you that you can't do this anymore and this is what you love to do. So to have that taken away from us, quite literally taken away, and people will be listening, relating to this, that they couldn't go out and do what they loved either.
No.
Then have that come back, it was just a little bit overwhelming. So yeah, that was nice, that was lovely.
Well, talking about prime ministers,
what
happened this year was that we had a new prime minister, but a lettuce lasted longer.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. The
lettuce. So Liz Truss, she was in number 10 for 45 days, I think it was. I think that was the number. But yeah, it lasts longer. Crazy times.
What else is my highlight of the year? I'd say WedCon was nice as well.
I know one. One for me would be that actually getting to actually work with you in person.
Oh yeah, that is nice.
Because we do, like, when we work separate, we're on a call anyway, aren't we? Like with each other off the majority of the time. But to be like sat next to you in a room, my work wife, just like, oh my god, just weirdness.
Scary.
Everyone else has felt like a little bit, I don't know, I've got used to being like on my own, which is a good thing, because like, to enjoy your own company is fine, but oh my god, it's so nice to be out and go for a meal. I remember when me and my husband went for like a meal when you like, you could literally first go back out to the pubs, and it just felt bizarre, sat there like with the next table taped off, like we had some sort of disease, which we didn't, but everybody else did.
Mad, isn't it? It's mad. What else has gone on this year? I think like things that have gone from strength to strength. So our email marketing list has grown. We are growing audiences on new platforms now, like Pinterest and TikTok. So we're reaching new people, which is always exciting. One of like the nice worky brag moments was we sent an email out in was it March, end of Feb, March time. And in one email we made £6,000 in sales from one email.
Oh, yes.
And also we really increased our email open rate this year, which is something I'm really proud of. So we took it to like over 60% of an open rate. So if you're on our email list and you open our emails, thank you so much. You're one of those 60% that open our emails.
And actually, off the back of that and learning that process and, you know, like refining it, we've been able to help other people with their own.
That's been really good as well, being able to help other people with their email marketing and putting processes in their business for that side of things. And yeah, to take it to over 60% is insane. Like they say, like a good open rate sits at like 2 to 4%.
Low, isn't it? Like really low.
Really low. So to take it to like 60, and then to make £6,000 from an email that we sent out, from one email that we sent out as well, we were just like, oh my god, this is crazy. And then, like we said, growing audiences like on TikTok and on Pinterest, and also our podcast audience has grown as well. Has only been really good for our business, hasn't it? We launched, God, there's so much. We also launched our social media planner, although we've done ones in previous years. Yeah, although we've done ones in previous years, we've never done a physical one, have we? So we've always done like a downloaded one. We did one that you could download to your Kindle or kind of like those apps that you can write in your planner on your tablet. And this year we made that kind of investment and that cost outlay, creating our own planner from scratch, didn't we? That we post out to you lovely people, which was great. Like, it felt good to hold it in our hands, didn't it?
Oh, I'm looking at them right now. I love them. I love you, planner. I love you. And do you know what? I don't know about you, but I've really enjoyed designing it. I don't think there was many moments when I thought, oh, I can't wait to see the back of this. Maybe the cover, actually, because we always have a bit of cover drama, don't we? Like trying to design a cover or whatever. But...
You know what, you're saying that. I'm starting our next one. So the next the next one we want to do, like, this is a social media planner, and the next one we want to do is like a content marketing, like everything content marketing, blogging, emails, like lead magnet.
You like content marketing?
Like
books,
Bible, like basically like just a content marketing Bible of everything you can think of that's content, from landing pages to lead magnets to blogs to social media content to video content to everything. So we're just starting very slowly to kind of put ideas together for that and to plan the next one. So I'm so glad that you said that you enjoyed it and that you didn't get frustrated with it, because this one is going to be a wham.
Right now, bye.
It's going to be a mahusive. You say that, don't you? I've got that word from you.
Mahusive. Yeah, another thing as well, I did like put it in our kind of like brainstorm chat. 2023 hashtag directory is in the making. Boom.
Yeah, so that's good. So all of these like products or services that we brought out, obviously like Content Club's just over 12 months now, but we've had launches of other things as well. We launched a blogging service for people. We launched our social media planner. Our hashtag directory comes out every single year, so we did that again this year. I think we've had record sales this year though, haven't we?
We have, yes.
We've not quite tracked the end of the year but we're inside of our sales a lot, and I'm pretty sure we've had record sales this year, which is great. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to next year and taking those experiences, like you said, with our email marketing and really focusing in on that this year, at the beginning of this year, and really setting up those like lead sequences and email marketing on automation. We were then able to create things to help other people and also teach you how to kind of work your email marketing and how to get your open rate higher and how to convert somebody from just landing on your website and somebody that you would have never been able to have a conversation with because they were going to leave your website without entering any details, into somebody that then goes into your nurture sequence and buys from you. Like we've loved that process, haven't we? We have,
and I know this sounds really cheesy, but like we love to see you succeed. Like that is what we do it for. I do not get a better buzz when until somebody messaged me and it's like, Roxy, like because of like what I've learned or implemented, like look at my sales. I get screenshots of sales and I'm like,
okay, that's good.
oh. And it's like we do it because we love to see you succeed, and this is like the foundations of everything that we do in our business, and it's literally our why, isn't it? It's why we do what we do, and I can't wait for the future to see what else we can help you with.
I know, it's going to be good, isn't it? It's going to be good to kind of think, okay, what lessons have we learned this year? What have we been able to improve on? But I think one of the biggest changes for us, and I'm saying this with a little bit of a giggle because I think Q4, so like the last sort of 3 months of this year, we haven't been intentional about it, and I think that's just because we've got other things going on. I've got some things going on personally. Nothing bad, but I'm incredibly busy at home personally with lots and lots of meetings.
The juggle is real right now.
Yeah. But something that we did at the start of this year was we kind of implemented a Monday morning strategy session, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
And I would say actually the email marketing results that we got, the growth that we've got on the podcast and the growth that we've got on the channels that we have, the new channels that we've started to grow, has come about because of those meetings.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And isn't it like it's just life, isn't it, that you can't always, it doesn't always go to plan like you think it's going to, but look at all the good we've still done.
Yeah, for sure. But next year I'm affirmating it, and I'm not just affirmating it, I'm going to make sure we blink and we'll do it, is that we are like, that meeting is coming back like every week, or we sit down and we strategize whatever part of the business we're working on at that moment, because all of the things I've just reeled off as the best moments that we've had of this year were born in those meetings.
Mm-hmm.
So 1000% they need to be a priority, and you need to hold me accountable. I need to hold you accountable.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the sync diary, and it's going to be like, this is unnegotiable. Like, this meeting happens whether we've got 15 kids off ill, like
whatever it is.
Whatever it is, we're still having this meeting.
Yeah, but I think as well, like we spoke about this in the past, didn't we, about having that meeting yourself in your business. And yes, there's 2 of us in our business, and yes, that in some instances can make things easier. In some instances, it can make things a little bit more difficult because we're not always together, or we don't always agree on the way that we want to do things.
Like, sometimes we have like a creative difference, don't we? Or I don't understand like what you're trying to like, I don't know, like say or do, and like vice versa. But yeah, sorry, put it in there.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, in some ways it's easier in the fact that there's 2 of us and we can bounce things around, and you know, we can split up areas of the business. But I think just having that process, whether you do it in a planner or you do it in a diary or whatever way you want to do it for yourself in your business, is really great. One of the ways that we experimented with doing it this year was to write it like we'd already achieved it, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we broke down like the goals as in what that then would mean for our life. So if we hit X amount in revenue, what that then would look like in our life. And we did that for a couple of sessions, didn't we?
Yeah, then we like did affirmations with it, and it was just it was very, very nice. So to anyone who, you know, is thinking like, okay, I want to hit bigger and better goals next year, have a go at doing that, because even just sitting and getting it down in paper like makes a massive difference.
It does make a difference. And I do remember the month, actually we had 10 days left of the month, and we were like, oh, let's set a sales target for these last 10 days of the month. I think we were already all right. I think we'd already like done a really decent month anyway, but we've got 10 days left. I don't know whether we said, oh, let's see if we can do another grand, or let's see if we can round it up to the next grand, I think it was, wasn't it? And then in those 10 days, we ended up taking 4.5 grand or something like that. But by just getting intentional, and I think that's what positively I took out of those sessions. And then even just this podcast reflecting on that has made me realise how important those meetings were, because everything we've mentioned came about in those meetings. So 100%, let's get it in the diary. We're going to do it every week.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this podcast because isn't it really, really easy all of the time to think about all of the things we haven't done and all the things we haven't achieved? But how often do we all sit and go through the things that we have achieved?
I used to like doing it. If you remember in the bridal shop, I used to like doing it. So if we ever went to a wedding fair like once a year, I would get the team together and be like, oh, like this time last year, this is what we were doing, and this is what we've done in the 12 months since we've, you know, you've learnt to drive, or you've got married, or this has happened, or we've moved into a bigger shop. And it's nice. It brings the energy up, doesn't it? So for those of you that are listening, have a think. You know, what have you been most proud of this year? What's been good news for your business, and what have you loved doing? And you know, it's not always about all the tracking, is it? Like, we don't consistently track like how many Facebook followers we've got or Instagram followers we've got anymore, or anything like that. Yes, we keep an eye over our insights and we keep an eye over the content that you want to view, because it helps us create better content. But we're not all over those little numbers. But what we are over is like, are we achieving what we want to achieve in our business? Is our business going in the direction that we want it to go in? And I think one of the things that we're looking forward to next year is getting our business back to where it was in 2019 pre-COVID.
Yeah.
In terms of the event side of the business. And we obviously went from being an events company with a bit of education to an education company and a coaching company with a bit of events. And we really want to kind of get intentional about that side of the business and growing that side as well. Because one of our values of our business is built on that, isn't it? It's built on that connection and bringing people together. So that's what we want to do.
That is what we need to do. That is where our hearts lie. So,
and then
watch this space, gang.
Yeah, when we're doing our roundup of 2023, I'm affirmating and saying, putting it out into the universe that we will be saying, with a bit of woo and do. That's what I'm calling that. So a little bit of like putting it out into the universe, but a lot of doing to get us there. That we will be talking about that we've had 200 odd events this year, or we've kind of grown the business to like all the counties of the UK, and perhaps we might even be looking abroad again as well. But
sprinkling of wedding business hub all over the UK is what we want.
Yeah. Only like, it's nice to be able to build that connection, and exactly what we said, like to have that with a person to bounce ideas off, or to, you know, goal set with, or to hold each other accountable. Like, yes, it's good that we've got a business partner to do that in terms of our business. But I hold like
I'm joking.
What did you say?
She's a pain in the bum, really. No.
Well, I'll take it. I'm fine. I've said I'm 35 now. I'm not changing who I am.
This is me. You either like it or you don't.
This is me. But I also hold like accountable in like all my relationships. Like I hold my partner accountable. He holds me accountable. I definitely hold myself accountable as to like what I say I'm going to do with the kids, and I think that is my answer to getting things done anyway.
Be intentional. That's mine. I have learned like because there's a difference in like wanting to do something and thinking about doing it, and then having a plan and actually bloody doing it.
What was that podcast we did? Action versus traction, was it?
Action versus motion.
Yeah, action versus motion. That's exactly right. So we did a podcast about this, didn't we? About like,
go find it. Yeah.
The action taking things that you can do, and what the motion taking things that you can do are. And actually, sometimes we can fall into this trap inside of business where you think that you're moving forward, but you're actually not. And I think that is so true in industries like ours, where we can be particularly quite busy. But what's good about our industry generally is that we do get this period where, yes, you might not be busy with weddings, but we are busy in other senses. So now's the time to kind of get your marketing in order for next year, get your plan in order for next year, get those goals written down, what you want to achieve, reflect on what's been good for you, reflect on, you know, what's worked in your business over the last few months. And
also reflect on the things, you know, that may not have gone to plan and may not be working. Like what is the reason for that? Explore it all, because I think until you kind of explore everything, then I don't know, for me, it's like you can't move forward.
Yeah, I think as well, like with that, like you can't find the faults like to fix it if you don't like look at it. And it's just a case of pushing your pride to the side and thinking, right, okay, I'm going to look at this and
put your big girl pants on.
Yeah,
right, big girl pants time.
And it can be really difficult to tell yourself that like your work needs improving or something that you're doing isn't working, especially after you put so much effort into it. And a lot of like businesses feel like our child, don't they? Because we feel like we've given birth to it and we've created this business and we pour so much time and love and energy into it. But if you don't like do it, you'll just waste countless hours inside of your business doing things that you think is great but nobody else does. And that it's the opportunity to just fix things now, isn't it, and not to do things that aren't working. There's that kind of quote, isn't there, that if you just constantly do the same thing, you'll just constantly get the same results. So like nothing changes.
I've heard that saying before. I'm sure that was on Celebs Go Dating.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure that I watched Celebs Go Dating last night, and I'm pretty sure that one of the coaches were like, if you don't work on changing things, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, if nothing changes, if nothing changes. So it's been lovely. So in a year where we won the Euros, hopefully we've pre-repped this. You never know, England may have won the World Cup as well. Unlikely, but you never know.
And also the year where Sam Ryder came second in Eurovision. If I was an astronaut. I didn't like that song to begin with, but now I love it.
The grower.
Yes, it is.
We achieved some things in our business. I think wholly it's been quite a positive year for us. I've loved it. I've loved working with you, Roxy. There's going to be more of us next year, guys and girls. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, supporting us, and we will see you next year.
Well, take care.
Bye.